Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is back above 30k. It's moved quite a bit in the last 24 hours. Here on CoinMarketCap we can see 5.11%. In line with that you can see some altcoins recovering as well, especially in the top 10. ADA recovering over 10%, which is at the top of the list, and maybe the approaching Vasil hard fork helps with this sentiment shift a little bit. Nevertheless, at the moment, from my point of view, there is no reason to believe yet that we are back in a bull run, that we have seen the low yet. This is way too early, and it is always interesting because I read it all the time in the comments when we have a move up, even if it's only a small one, and I mean 5% after such a long loss that we had in the last few days and weeks. It's not massive, but you see immediately the FOMO kicks in, and therefore, I mean, from my point of view, and that is really just what I do. I mean, I've been buying Bitcoin now according to my buy orders that channel members can see on Discord, below 20k, above 20k, you know, below not below 20k, below 30k, above 30k for a long-term view, you know, for swing trading. And you will probably not be able to get the lowest low anyway. We need to understand that chasing the lowest point is always risky, and I believe historically we are already at very, very attractive prices for Bitcoin. And as I said before as well, we have now, from a higher level point of view, Bitcoin has reached its target area. Yeah, that is very important. It's a very important aspect to understand. I mean, for the last 6 months I've been telling you that we are going into this area below 28.7k. We came into it, and that technically, from a higher level point of view, has helped Bitcoin to complete its correction. Now, is it already complete or not? That's the question. I don't think it is, and there's a few reasons why I think it is not yet complete. One reason is, for example, the lower level wave count. But from a high level point of view, Bitcoin has certainly done what it needs to do to complete the correction in an ABC wave, ABC, and in that C wave we're, in my opinion, in the last leg down. Other wave counts are certainly possible, even more bearish wave counts. I've been talking about that as well, but that we've already seen the low, I don't see it. I don't see it yet. Happy to be proven wrong. I think everybody could see some upside, but what I don't want is an extended correction again before we then drop, and that would just be again draining. It would bore people out of the market. It would just not be great. Yeah, so I myself would love for it to be over very soon. Yeah, so ideally I'd be looking for a move to the downside as soon as possible, but you know, primarily I still expect a lower low in line with what I explained in previous videos. But let's take a look at the shorter time frame here. So we've got a few things here to consider. I showed you here this descending trend line already in the previous video. There's a few ways of drawing that. That one here was broken if I do it like that. The thing is, there is an idea that there's two ways of looking at this from my point of view. I mean, we talked about a triangle before, that Elliott Wave triangle, which was invalidated, but there's obviously the potential we could still be in an extended unfolding triangle, and we could see this here as an A, B, C done, then we'll see the wave D down and the wave E up. That is still possible, yeah, in an still unfolding Elliott Wave triangle. So you usually then would have your wave A here, B, C, D, E, and that could be some kind of a symmetrical triangle, and you would exit that triangle then opposite of the wave E, so to the downside, and we would then have the wave E somewhere here. Very important would be that this wave C, which we're currently doing here, that might have peaked already, that this wave C must not get above the wave A high. So the wave A high is exactly at 31,400 and let me just check that, 31,411. So this is where the wave C can get to, but it should not get above it. Therefore now the dotted line here, that would be an invalidation point for this triangle. But it would not throw away the idea of a wave 4, because it could still just be an ABC pattern, a more complex one. But if we follow the triangle idea and we expect after that another wave D down and a wave E up, to then finally, hopefully, break out of the triangle to the downside, then we would not be allowed to break above $31,411. That is one invalidation point. And if we break above that level, that's an important resistance level also, that significant spike here, then I think we can get further here into this target area of the wave 4. And I did explain before, if this will be an extended wave 4 and the correction will last a bit longer than expected, then the wave 4 can certainly move higher. And in this wave 4, unfortunately, that technically, I mean, this, what I have here in yellow, is the area with the highest likelihood for the wave 4, between 31,250 and 34,300. And that is between the 38.2% fib level and the 50% fib level. But if it moves higher than that, even though the wave 4 then gets less likely, unfortunately, because of the structure of the chart here, it is technically even possible to reach 38K in this wave 4 without being invalidated. Because all you want to avoid is you don't want to get into the price range of the wave 1, and that is pretty much here at 38,200. So that would be the invalidation point for that wave 4. It's a long way to go. No, it's actually, wait one sec. No, it's actually 38,640. We're looking at this wave 1 low. 38,650. 38,550, sorry. 38,550 for this red wave 4 would be the invalidation point. But we also need to understand that a wave 4 rarely moves above or moves below, retraces more than the 50% Fibonacci retracement level. I would still accept the 61.8, but if it's more than that, it just becomes very unlikely. It's still a wave 4. But I would see this price range here is very valid and possible for this current wave 4 to reach it after the imminent downtrending scenario that I actually expected hasn't worked out. So that hasn't worked out, but in my opinion, it hasn't changed anything in the medium term wave count or in the medium term outlook. So I still expect, even though we're now facing here an extended wave 4 recovery, I'm still expecting more downside potential and a lower low. And that is just what the shorter time frame analysis suggests. Now, again, few things here to mention. As I said before, as Bitcoin dropped below 30K or below 28.7 actually, the low could be in at any point. I said that. So everybody who's been watching this channel for the last 6 months was prepared for this massive drop that Bitcoin did. And I've been telling you that from now on, at any point, the low could be in. But exactly because of that, I'm observing here the wave counts very closely at the moment on the lower time frames to be able to spot a potential impulse forming on time. And if an impulse is forming, it is even then not a reason to FOMO in. Because usually what you see is, if this is a first impulse to the upside, a 5-wave move, you would then expect an ABC down, which in a wave 2, because if you start a new trend to the upside, you get a wave 1 to the upside, and then you get your wave 2 to the downside, and that normally retraces quite a lot again. So there is usually no reason to FOMO in, and everybody needs to decide for themselves. From my point of view now, do I buy in the target area that Bitcoin had already reached, and that I was aware of when I watched this channel here? Do I buy and try to catch the low, but I'm not waiting for confirmation that the downtrend is over? Or do I wait for confirmation that the downtrend is over by waiting for a first impulse up, a first corrective move down, basically a higher low, and go in then, But if I wait for confirmation, I'm not going to catch the lowest point. So this is the decision everybody needs to decide for themselves. There is a potential the low is already in, but I would only give it maybe a 20% probability. As I said before already, I still primarily expect lower lows here for Bitcoin, even though now short-term upside is possible here in this wave 4 after we invalidated those impulsive waves that were unfolding to the downside. And of course, I'll keep you updated here about this development. If we take a look on the 4-hour chart for Bitcoin, we can actually see that we have a long signal on the 4-hour chart. So this happened actually earlier when that green candle emerged here. That's only the 4-hour chart, so don't overestimate this. but overemphasize this. Here on the 4-hour chart also, it's now getting exhausted. It's now overbought on the RSI. MACD is still pushing higher. So I think, there is a good chance we actually break this trend line here, because the RSI is quite high, meaning we are in an uptrend. We have a long signal on the 4-hour, but this is now where it's deciding. If this trend line breaks, which we currently have here, and then also the 31,411, then it will probably, in my opinion, fill out this yellow target area. So this is what I currently see here for Bitcoin. On the daily MACD is still pushing higher. Daily RSI is still below 50. That's another decision point here, working very well together with the decision point that it's having at the moment. Because above 50, it would also indicate on the daily more uptrend potential. And we might also see here a bullish crossover on the ADX, but that will probably only happen if we really break out of this triangle here to the upside. And again, this is all possible until 31,411. If it breaks above that, then we're looking at further upside still, possibly in the first instance all the way up to 34,330. Okay, that is my view about Bitcoin. Hopefully you liked the update about Bitcoin. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership and maybe even the trading course I'm currently offering on morecryptoonline.com. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.